Chapter 9. At lunchtime the next day, I sat in a noisy cafeteria surrounded by my classmates, pondering everything Gacy had told us. There was laughing, trays clanging, sneakers squeaking on the linoleum, but it all drifted far away, even my questions, when I opened my lunchbox. I took a bite of cantaloupe I had purposely cut and packed for myself that morning. My father said, the only way to face your fears was to face them head on. So they were there, cut up in nice even squares in a Tupperware dish. The squish in my mouth, though, the sweetness on my tongue brought the memory surfacing. She began to fall. Holding Biddy with one hand, her other arm swung widely into the stack of cantaloupe. The fruit rolled forward, slowly at first, then faster, as one by one, each cantaloupe took a suicide plunge all the way to the hard grocery floor. At that moment, something disastrous was happening inside my mama. I yelled and stuck my arms out to stop the falling fruit, but her eyes found mine once again. Biddy was falling too. Our baby girl. She was going to hit the ground, her little round head the shape of a small round cantaloupe. There were no words. I just held out my arms. She dropped Biddy into my arms like she was saying, "This is your baby now, sweet pea." Mama's eyes closed and she continued to fall, hitting her head on the cold, white, tiled floor with a sickening thwack and thud. That fall wasn't what wrecked her, though. Her heart had stopped. She wasn't breathing. No oxygen was circulating to her brain. Biddy wailed as I squeezed her, and the cantaloupe still falling all over and landing one after another on top of my mama's legs, back, head, and hands. A woman stopped, snatched Biddy from me, and began to screaming for help. Alarmed, I knelt down, tears and hysteria coming over me. "Mama, get up! Mama, someone has the baby, and cantaloupes are all over the floor, and we gotta pick them up." And then I was screaming at, "Get up! Get up!" She didn't answer me. My father explained the brain was like a tree. All the branches making up the tree are the brain's millions of neurons that need oxygen. The longer your brain is deprived of oxygen, the worse the damage will be. Strangers put their hand on her chest and pumped while counting in quick, deliberate rhythm. How long can a person go without oxygen? I've experimented. My longest time is 1 minute and 23 seconds, which is pretty long, but I almost fainted and my face turned a scary purple color. At 5 minutes, brain cells begin to die. The tree branches shriveled. Extraordinary efforts were taken to save my mama's life. That day I found out later. But it wasn't enough. She was taken by ambulance, my father beside her. Paddles were applied to her chest. An electric shock was delivered. She was given numerous IVs. Still, the heart did not pump. 6 minutes without oxygen turned into 8, 9, 10. She was 24 years old and declared dead at 10:23 a.m. It was then my scientist of a father tried a new hypothesis. He dropped to his knees and pleaded for a miracle. And that's exactly what he got. Vienna's heart began to beat on its own again. It was a miracle. She came back to life, if you can call it that. I spit the cantaloupe into my hand.